Okay, it's all kicking off now like it normally is, like it does every bloody day. If it's not one thing, it's another. But here is something else. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going into a bit of a wild one. We're talking about Tommy Robinson. Yep, that name again. And how he was stopped and his phone was demanded. Now listen, demanded. Terror laws stepped in and he was found not guilty. In other words, he was in a situation which we're going to go into in a minute, and they said, give me your phone. Now, normally you can't just take someone's phone from them. That's got all your information, but they demanded that he gave his phone over and the PIN code. In other words, causing him to lose his rights of privacy. But anyway, we're going to find out what's going on, and we're going to learn more about the story starting right now.
Analyzing the news.
That's right, it's all kicking off now, and people aren't happy about it. And why should they be? Because it feels like we're supposed to be free people to do what we please, but it's like we're in a prison, but we can't see the bars, isn't it? And that's unfortunately how this world is at the moment, and it's scary, and a lot of people are being affected by it. A lot of people aren't happy about it because this is the public, isn't it? And now Tommy Robinson is obviously a big figure, and yeah, what's happened with him. So again, today we're talking about Tony Robinson, because he seems to be one of the main guys who actually stands up and says, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with what's going on. He's the one with the voice that is shouting out. If you agree with him or not, either way, he's the one who's challenging certain things, isn't he? So yes, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get a bigger picture so you can see my ugly mutt. I've got a freaking spot there, or a bite. It must be winter, I don't know. But it's the weather's getting colder in Britain, which is concerning, because that usually means that we have to put the heating on, and then price rises are going to go up again. So yeah, Tony Robbins, whose phone was demanded by demanded by terror laws when they stepped in, because that's what they used to say, right, give me your phone. So what does that mean? Why did it even happen? And what could it mean for you? So stick around, because I'm going to delve in. And yes, I'll be asking you lots of thoughts as we go, because I want to know your opinion as well. Because remember, guys, your opinion does matter. It really does. So remember just to comment as well, and share your thoughts on things. So first, what's up? What actually happened? Tony Robinson was stopped by the Channel Tunnel UK border in 2024, last year in July. He was driving a silver Bentley. I wish I had one of them, but either way, he's a wealthy man, and he was wealthy before he came out and started to be a journalist, as he says. And he had over £13,000 in cash on him. Obviously that's concerning. Why would you have 13 grand? And yes, the police asked for access to his phone, specifically the PIN number. Under the law, they can do this in some cases. Now I want you to pause, think. If you were stopped for your phone PIN, would you just hand your phone over to them? And if not, why not? And what would your concerns be? Now, the law they used is called Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act 2000. But the thing is, he was just driving a car. He wasn't doing anything, was he? The idea is, at UK Passport and Borders, officers can stop someone without any suspicion. Now, I know the police law doesn't work like that. They have to have grounds. But again, this is according to the news and what's been said. They can ask questions. They can check devices if terrorism may be involved. Sounds a bit heavy, right? Kind of a Big Brother meets the border. Let me ask you, what do you think? Is it fair to stop someone like this, even if you're not sure they've done anything wrong? And if that's the case, why do you think that? Why do you think that's not fair? Because it isn't fair, is it? No, it's not fair. Now you think, well, it's Tommy Robinson. Well, we can suspect him, but why? What are the grounds on that basis? Really? Let me know. What do you think? It's scary stuff, isn't it, when you think about it? Because does that mean they can just speak to anybody and talk to anyone and just say, listen, I'm not happy with you. I want you to give me your phone over and your PIN number. You wouldn't be happy with it, would you? Now, in Tommy's case, the police said his demeanour was suspicious, vague replies. So when they spoke to him, he was being vague. This is what they said. And he wasn't making any eye contact with them. Driving a high-value car with lots of cash. It's a bit suspicious, but is it really? He's done well in life. He's bought himself a nice car. Good on him. Yeah, and he's got cash in him. Is that a crime? No. Is it suspicious? Depends how you look at it. But from the defence side, Tommy said the phone had journalistic material on it and he refused to hand it over with the PIN. He claimed the rights relating to journalism. Here's a fun question. How do you value privacy on your phone? Would you say, not a chance, ain't happening, mate. You're not having my phone. It's got pictures of me kids. It's got all sorts of things that I don't want to share with you. Right? It's none of your business. I have got a right. You do know that, don't you? I am a human being. But how would you feel about it? Would you hand it over? If you did hand it over, would you question it or would you just do it? The turning point, the judge found that the main reason for the stop may not have been terrorism suspicion. Can't make the bloody mind up. But what Tommy stood for, his political ideological beliefs, judges said those are a protective characteristic. So the actual stop that they did was legally unlawful. That means he shouldn't have done it. Whoa. That means belief equals protection. What's your take? Should police be allowed to stop someone based on suspicion only if their clear intentions are just to create journalism? Journalism is just, he wants to go out, he wants to find out stories, researching it. Obviously, that's what he does. He is a journalist. He wants to find out information and report it and share it with people like you, me, and everyone else. And I tell you what, he's bloody good at it. He is good at it. He works his backside off. If you like it or not, he's good at what he does. And he's looking for the answers. And yeah, the police don't like that. But the law states as a journalist, why not? If Tommy was found not guilty of the terror offence of failing to comply with Schedule 7, that's what they call that, i.e. refusing the phone PIN, because the stop itself was wrong. So yeah, they shouldn't have stopped him. They've committed a crime because they couldn't justify it. They had no justification. If you see someone in a Bentley with £14,000 or whatever, right, you don't just say, well, I can justify pulling you over, but you can't. You can't do that. You can't. I was in the bank a couple of months ago and there was a little old granny. She was standing in the queue before me, right? And she drew like £5,000 out of the bank cash. And I'm standing behind her. Now, I'm obviously not going to do anything. But if I was the wrong type of person, she was vulnerable. She had all that money. All it takes is someone just to grab that money. But nevertheless, the point of the matter is you're allowed to draw large amounts of cash out of the bank because it's your bloody money. Do you know what I mean? So whatever reason he had his money, so be it, right? There's no police powers that can do that. Can detain him and say, right, give me your phone, give me information. Tell me your PIN to your phone. So yeah, not on really, is it? Is it really on? What do you think? What do you think? Come on, comment below. I need to know. Because you think, well, that's Tony Robinson, but it's different with him. But it's just a case, if it's not him, eventually it's going to be you. You're going to be the one minding your own business, driving around in your car or walking in the park, and suddenly the police come up to you and say, give me your phone and your PIN number. Are you going to hand it over? Would you trust the outcome? Are you worried if it could open other cases where people refuse to allow people to access their phone? Let's look at it. Let's look at the implications Because this case hints a question like, how strong are counter-terrorist laws? When can they be used or misused? Your phone, is it safe or vulnerable when crossing borders? It's like my phone, like you, everything's bloody on it. All my important information, all my family pictures, my bank details, my emails, everything about everything, and more than likely with you as well, it's all on your bloody phone. All of it. Now you're going to hand it over to a stranger. Yes, they've got a police uniform on, but they're still a stranger, right? You know what I mean? They're not some mystical, magical being who's perfect and got great values and decent and honest. You don't know, right? But is that all it takes? That someone could just say to you, give me your phone, give me your PIN. How are you going to feel about it? What does it mean for journalism? Political beliefs, state powers. Here's the question. If you were crossing a border and they asked you for your phone and PIN number under similar powers, what would you do? Would you hand it over, or would you say, no, you ain't bloody having it, I refuse? And what would you expect the outcome to be? Do you expect to be arrested? It's crazy, isn't it? Don't you think? It's lunacy. Doesn't make any sense. Let me know what your thoughts are. Because there's another angle. Public perception. Tommy Robinson is, a controversial, isn't he? He's a figure that people look at. Now, some see him as a journalist or a free speech warrior. Others see him as a far-right extremist. That mixes things up. So when the law meets politics, things get a little bit messy, don't they? Let me ask you, do you think high-profile individuals should be treated differently under the law? Or should it be exactly the same for everyone? What is fair? Is it fair? What's going on? Well, it's not on, is it really? It's bloody disgusting. And the plot gets thicker, doesn't it? It always gets thicker. It always gets worse. If it's not one thing, it's another. Also, worth noting, and this is important, this could now change how border stops work in the UK. If a stop is found to be based on someone's beliefs rather than evidence, it might be called out more, but rights may be strengthened. But there's a big but. Could bad actors use the ruling to refuse phone access more often, hide things under journalism or belief claims? Because there's a risk there. What do you think? More protection good, or does this give too much power to refuse the law enforcement? What I mean by that, this is the interesting thing, right? Because I could, being devil's advocate, I could walk around and have a big wad of money, £20,000, whatever, right? The police come up to me, the border control. What's that? And then I say, I'm a journalist. Then they walk away. So I can use that as an excuse. That's what they're trying to get at. Where's the line that you cross? Because it's like hiding under an umbrella, masking yourself. Like there's certain laws in the UK that if you cannot carry a knife in the UK unless there's a law that you follow a certain religion. I think it's Hinduism. Is it Hinduism? I'm not sure. It's the one when they're allowed to carry, they have part of their worship, they have a knife and it's on the waist, and it's, when you say a knife, it's more like a bent sword, and if that stabs you, it'll kill you. But by law, because of their religious beliefs, they're allowed to carry it. So does that mean now people can play on that, and someone who wants to walk around with a knife for other intentions, they can just say, well, that's my religious belief. So where does the line stop? Where'd you go from there? Hey, what'd you do? It's a thin line, isn't it? It's not very clear. And again, we've got to think of situations where tough laws are needed, like terrorism are absolutely real. But it's a balancing act, isn't it? What about you? After hearing this, are you more confident in how the law works, or is it a bit unnecessarily incorrect and wrong, and why? So, okay, folks, I do appreciate you sticking around with me. And And I genuinely do appreciate that, because this is interesting stuff. And it sounds a little bit, oh, it doesn't affect me, but it does. It really does, because these little changes that you're hearing on the news, these little stops, if they've stopped him, that means they can stop you, even though there's no law saying that they can do that, and they're not allowed to do it, but they still did it. Now, it's all over the news that he's been found not guilty of terrorism or act. He's done nothing wrong, but still, he had to go through all that ordeal, all that trauma, all that stress, for what? What is the law going? What's going on with the law? Is it a bit discombobulated? Is it a bit backwards? Is it a bit stupid? Again, only you know that. But again, you can share this with me. You've got to let me know what you think in the comments. Remember, your opinion matters, and that is the truth. Your opinion matters. It always does, because at the end of the day, this is your world, mate. It's not theirs. This is your world. Yeah. I hope this video gives you some sort of insight into what's going on in current events. And remember, share your thoughts, add your comments, click, if you want to keep informed and up to date, just click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it's free. And I'm going to be here all the time trying to give you a different take on what's bloody going on in the world. Because to be honest, mate, it's bloody, it's crazy. The world is crazy, and it doesn't make any bloody sense. That's why we have to make sense of it ourselves, because if we don't, we're going to end up in a society that we have no decision making, no conscious choices, no nothing, right? Everything will be suppressed onto us instead of us saying, wait a minute, we're not happy. But at the end of the day, the power lies with the people. We know that, but even though we know it consciously and unconsciously, we don't implement it. We just sit back and think, oh, we'll watch Netflix and not worry about it. But you should worry about it, because the world is constantly changing. It's always changing, and it's changing more and more, especially the last couple of weeks. Since I've been reporting the news, I've seen so many things happen which have never ever happened before, and at this speed as well. It's literally crazy. Everything's backwards, everything's upside down, nothing makes sense. That's why we have to watch things like this, so we can make sense of our world and the way we experience it. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me waffle on. Thanks for sharing your comments, and until next time, guys, look after yourself, God bless, and I'll see you later.